Hello, everyone. I'm a truck driver from Texas. I used to drive for a company that specialized in refrigerated trailers. These are the trailers that keep things like produce, dairy, and meat either cold or frozen. Most of my time was spent driving between Texas and California, and there were 4 trailers at any given time. 2 would be loaded with produce from California, 1 would be empty coming back, and 1 would be loaded with either meat or dairy out of Texas going to California. We were strictly a just-in-time delivery company. That meant if the receiver was not ready for our trailer, we had to wait until they were ready to unload us before we could even start unloading. So it was very common for us to be sitting at a receiver's dock for 8 to 12 hours waiting for them to unload us. So here's a true horror story about a truck stop that happened to me during one of those 12-hour waits. It was around 4 a.m., and I had just gotten to the receiver. As I was getting out of the truck to go inside and get some coffee, I noticed this guy. He was sitting on the other side of the parking lot in what looked like an old pickup. I didn't pay him any mind as I walked into the store. I got my coffee and went outside to wait for them to open the doors so I could start unloading. When I came outside, I noticed he was still sitting there, but now he was staring at me. I thought maybe I should go talk to him just to be friendly. So I walked over and said, "Hey man, nice night, isn't it?" All he did was continue staring at me. Then he started walking towards me, and I started walking away. He continued to walk towards me, and I kept walking away from him. I wasn't scared at first because he was walking kind of slow, but then I realized he wasn't looking at me at all. He was looking past me at the trailer. Suddenly, I turned around and screamed at him, "Get away from me, man." That's when I saw what he was looking at. He wasn't looking at me at all. He was looking at the trailer and he had a gun in his hand. Now I'm running. I'm yelling, "Help! Somebody! Help me!" I'm running to the truck, but my feet are like lead. I don't know why I was thinking this, but I thought he was going to come after me. As I'm running, I see the 2 doors of the trailer open up. Of course, this is the part where the nightmare begins. There's this big gust of wind and it blows the plastic off the trailer. The wind also blows his hair across his face. I look back at him and he's smiling. Now, when I say smiling, I mean a real smile, like ear to ear. His eyes are wide open and he looks excited. Then he takes off running after me. I get to my truck, jump in, slam the door, and lock it. I don't know who this guy is. All I know is he was smiling like a madman and he had a gun in his hand. I honk the horn, but the only thing that comes out is a weak beep. The battery is probably dead from sitting. So now I'm sitting there in my truck with my heart beating so hard I think it's going to come right out of my chest. I can hear him getting closer. I can hear him breathing hard. I roll down the window just enough to stick my head out and I yell, "Get away from me, man! Get away from me!" He stops. He looks at me and he starts talking, but I couldn't hear what he was saying because my ears were ringing. Then he starts banging on the side of my truck and screaming, "Open the door! Open the door! Open the door!" He kept banging and screaming for what seemed like forever. Then he finally went away. I sat in that truck for another hour before the guard at the front gate finally came out to see what was going on. When he heard my story, he told me to follow him and we went to the back of the property where there was a police station. The cops took my statement and everything, but they didn't find any evidence of a crime. They called it a prank and told me to go on my way. Nobody at the police station even looked at the security footage, according to the officer. I asked them, "How do you know there's no cameras?" And he said, "Because the place next door is a church, and they don't have any lights on, and they're not open this early, so there's no cameras." I told them, "Well, I know I saw him with a gun." And he basically implied I was lying. He was being super unprofessional, rude, unhelpful. I had never met such a bad cop before, and to this day, I still wonder if he's ever going to come after me or something. That's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. And I would appreciate it if you could let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't usually tell this story to people because most of the time they think I'm making it up. Thanks for watching and have a good one.